to the offline tournaments, because well, there when it's a pro league and when it's a major, hey, it's even better because it's a more updated version of the game. But good luck, have fun comes out. Big respect between the two teams. I'll remind you, Zig, Team Liquid's main anchor, I guess, got married like 10 days ago. So congratulations again, Zig.
Well, they will take out Glass. And a reminder as well, this is a map that Liquid did play against Black Dragons and won at 7-5. So they definitely have some experience winning on it, but at the same time, that means they showed some strats that paiN could take advantage of, assuming they might run anything similar. Glass going to be taken out will definitely make it interesting, especially for this region. But no surprise to see Ying banned quite a bit this season. It's been interesting because we've seen so little of Ying when it's not banned, outside of a Rogue especially being a team that likes to run it a lot.
You see Slash that runs it every now and then.
Still have yet to see it work very well, but I'm sure there's some thought behind it. It's either just really likes the Candelas just for fun. Maestro going to go, though, so we're not going to see any more of him taking over the day, as we hadn't seen him banned the last 2 matches, and, well, it made a pretty big difference. He was definitely very strong in those. It's definitely problematic for the defenders, or the attackers, rather, and Mira banned again here. So far, that's all 3, so maybe that meta kind of swinging right on back to that, although, to be fair, one of those was border before as well.
Yeah, and it does make a lot of sense to have these. Now, it's very similar to what we had for bans in our first matchup, Immortals vs INTZ. The big difference is that, Echo is banned instead of the Maestro. Otherwise, copy pasta.
Yep.
Please, that doesn't mean that you should be, throwing copy pasta into a chat.
I'm sure they already are.
Spam this, whatever.
Spam this spam to make it ham. All right, we'll go on with the 6th pick over to the smoke. Good to have that, of course. Echo definitely going to be a big factor here. Last time when we played on border earlier today, there was no Echo as it was banned. So that is going to make those pushes in a bit harder, which means they need to have that extra bit of time that Echo can be delaying for, assuming the Echo is not going to play overly aggressive. But the way Zig plays, I don't imagine it will be overly aggressive. He will tend to play a bit more anchor on site to be able to play that, so seems like a good choice.
Sexy Cake setting up his mood jammers, making it a bit more difficult for the attackers to drone on in, engage the situation.
Another bulletproof camera as well.
Yep, we've been seeing a lot of those, and it makes sense. They're really good.
It's interesting because those are something that I think a lot of people kind of were, when it was first announced and kind of tested, everyone was excited, thinking they were going to be kind of OP to an extent, and then no one really used them all that well. And it took a long time.
Yeah, and then after the major, around the Paris major, people kind of realized, hey.
Well, it's the whole see-through smokes thing. Smoke planting is such a big part now. And with Echo getting banned a lot in terms of being able to stop plants, and Maestro often being banned as well, it kind of came down to just necessity.
All right, Sexy Cake just blowing up more of those walls, and we've been seeing this, at least in our first matchup, where long angles have been very powerful for the defenders to use. Now, it's not out of the ordinary, it's not unusual that, you destroy these walls every time.
It's not unusual to be shot by anyone.
All right, when I see you out and about, it's just a crime.
Well, we'll see the Thatcher actually getting played here, and interestingly, helping the Ashe player try and get entry into CCTV. A lot of drones swarming all over it all at once.
Yeah, and the mute jammer here just blocking the drone, which will leave the Ashe with only one thing to do, is to throw it all out. And Palu is going to get shot down. Okay, well done.
Interesting, considering they had the Echo drone to be able to watch that.
All right. And they still do. So they're going to move around those yokais and still try to gauge the situation, as the reinforcement of the wall is set. It's offset. It's the one on the right, not the one on the left. That is done, which is fairly odd because it doesn't really cover as much of the hallways you would like to. And we talked about this before, where just be very powerful. Oh, don't put that yokai so close. If there's another EMP thrown in, man, that thing is gonna get fried.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see. I mean, I like the positioning in some ways because it is hard to get to, though, because you're not going to come around the corner shooting up at the ceiling. So assuming he doesn't use it too early, it's a very good chance that he catches the defuse planter.
Yeah, and remember, there's no IQ in play here for paiN Gaming, so you got to be careful. just in case that Echo is used well against you, and see there's potential damage to be done by the window. EMP to get thrown in, but it's thrown in by the window itself, so it does not affect Zig's Zig's yokai drone that is still up in the armory. You cannot see through the smoke, but you can obviously pre-check for any players going in for a quick plant. Sexy Cake runs out, but does not find anyone on the rappel by the armor window. Smoke's being thrown in as Gabriels will have to fall back and find another position to plant. He's still at 50% health. FK1 will find one, quickly traded off by Nesk. Shut down one of those planters. Now it's a 3v2. Zig trying to stop the whole thing. Is Sexy Cake. Shotgun in hand, he'll find the kill. Drops the diffuser on the floor. Advantage now in the hands of Team Liquid on the defense. You see the smoke has face planted in Zig. Will be called in. No, his yokai have already been set, and Sexy Cake will find 1 and 2. There you go. Sexy Cake just proving that you can have your cake and eat it and also shoot people in the face.
It is ironic that
Oh, it's ironic is not here yet.
that Liquid of all teams now have even less incentive to run that FMJ.
Actually, yes. Because if you guys didn't know, the FMG9 has the Team Liquid skin on it.
Yeah.
Same, the smoke already has the kit. So, yeah.
Still, though, good defense by Liquid. I mean, good attack to an extent by paiN, but taking control of CCTV early, getting the wall open early, getting set up for a plant fairly early wasn't bad. The only problem was they didn't really have anything to do against all those defenders just sitting there, especially with those shotguns. And, of course, the Echo drone being a big problem. They're still not going to bring an IQ. The Monty should be fun, though, along with the Capitao, to be able to smoke and flame pretty much wherever they want to control along with the Monty. Could do a good job in denying and making sure a plant can happen here, because, for example, you can potentially smoke off the doorway, have a Monty stand in that doorway instead, or smoke off the rotation hole that's often going to be in. There's some ways you can kind of use the utility of both the Monty and the Capitao, along with possibly Dokabi's smokes as well, to really make it possible to plant inside the B site. Something that they definitely could do. And the Echo drone, yeah, will be able to do a little bit about it, but not a ton.
I memean, theoretically speaking, it can definitely shut the whole thing down for paiN, right?
Yeah, and it depends on whether or not they can actually see where the plant's going down with the yokai itself, because you're only going to get 2 shots before you get a recharge.
Yep. And Palu here is setting up some angles for him to shoot down into his opponents. And there you go. Let me show you how it's done there, son.
Yeah, it's not so great with the silenced MP5.
Yeah, you realize it doesn't really have a ton of ammo left, so might as well switch around the P229, which has seen a huge rise in popularity. Understandable. The fact that the Bearing 9 is not as great as it once was, and unless that's North America, we've been seeing even Redeemer running Bearing 9 with iron sights, because oddly enough, it has less recoil with iron sights. If you didn't know that.
Well, it's a weight thing. The sights, like they add weight to it.
Yeah, exactly. Usually when you add weight to a gun, it just makes
it looks like they're going for the rush plant on B that I was talking about, but it gets stopped.
Sexy Cake will find one. Gabriel is taken away, and now your Monty is now, well, dead. So what do you do about it? 2 adrenaline surges have already been used by FK1. There's a potential run out on the opposite end from Team Liquid there. You see Gohan setting up, and he's going to go for the run. He'll get the kill and at least drop one, and he'll be detected. Now Revolt's taking him out. Is that a 249? All right. Almost flashing himself there, but he'll should be able to pick up their fallen comrade. K1 off the floor is usually it's the Finka that can use her utility to bring her teammates back to life. And this is the FK1. Well done there on Nesk. But that rotation hole that the Smoke of Sexy Cake was using from the office into the
bomb located by
the archives, something that I talked about quite a bit, allows you to really maneuver yourself in and around the map and just contest anybody that would like to push up to you. More holes being opened up by the shotgun of Sexy Cake, just to be able to fire down on his opponents, and unfortunately, there we go, finally it sticks. So far, so calm after that initial storm.
Yeah, it was a good attempt at a rush plant. Like I said, they had the utility for it. It was a great attempt. Really, what we saw Echo doing to the floor that took so long is what helped with that big time. But Spawn's taking out Zig. Now looking still pretty good for them to bring this back with the last 40 seconds.
Yeah, the hatch has already been opened up, and Paulo will find the kill on FK1. Still has Yokais to use, and that diffuser is on the floor. paiN will have to fight up, but GCR will get Paulo, so no more Yokais. I was just mentioning it. They know where the smoke is. They should.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Just give information to Sexy K, because he'll get the kill quick. Wow, that's a very fast burst there. He'll take down Spawns. Diffuser has been picked up by GCR. He's going to try to plant right on the edge of ventilation. Sexy K will drop through the hatch. Still has a lot of rounds in the magazine. Nah, the smoke will not hit.
Attackers are activating the diffuser.
Can't find the kill, and Dokkaebi in the back will pick up the remote scat canister, throw it into the back, the face of the Capitao, who actually runs up the stairs. A very smart thing to do. Now GCR is on his own. Revolt's watching the entry in the doorway as well. Sexy K will try to roll long arm it there.
Oh no, the sight!
He finds the kill. GCR has been taken down. Where is Revolt? He's going to try to find the angle. He can't find it. No, not like this. Sexy K, he turns. Oh no, he had it.
Why did you get off of it?
You go again. Is this?
Oh no.
Not like this.
What a throw.
On down, and he gets taken out. Is there enough time? Sexy Cake will try to stick it.
He's going to crawl.
What are you doing?
All right.
Oh!
All right.
Just. Ah! What are you doing?
Oh my. What a finish to a round that started with a rush plant attempt, ending just in chaos. We're going to have to go for a rehost, it looks like, potentially here.
I can't believe it!
Certainly an interesting round, to say the least.
All right, okay, you know what? This is not how it's going to go down.
Are you going to be okay?
I need a rehost. I need a mental rehost. I need like someone right now to slap me on my head and be like, hey, come back to normal, Dr. Nefarious.
Tempting.
Something wrong. They're like, you know what, Dr. Nefarious, maybe you should go back to life right now, because this did not just happen, and there's no way in hell that any strategy within my book is enough to justify this. So you know what? Damn it all to hell. It does not matter.
It was
Why
just scribbles in there anyways. And weird
it doesn't matter. Why do I even have this?
It doesn't matter if he wants those kills, okay? Those are important.
I think he just had no.
He gets paid per kill. Unfortunately, it sounds like it's taken a little bit of time to get the rehost going. Thankfully, it was only at least 2 rounds in, so...
Revolta's PC has crashed,
yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, after watching that,
understandable.
He punched the monitor at that point. Still, though, interesting attempt from paiN. They go in for a rush plant attempt. They've got the Monty, they've got the smokes, and it's not even denied by the Yokais. It's denied off of him just shooting through the floor with the holes that he struggled to open early on. Thankfully, he didn't use all of his ammo opening them because he needed some to use through the hole, but it absolutely paid off, and their inability to deal with Echo for a long period of time nearly cost them the round.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
Okay.
Yeah. How does that set us up though for our next round? That's the thing.
Probably not going to see a rush plant attempt again.
Yeah. So we saw the first round being played up in the Armory and Archives.
Yeah.
The second one in Ventilation. First one was won by Liquid. Second one lost.
Yeah. So they can't play Ventilation or Archives. I'm sorry, Armory Locker. There's too many A sites upstairs anymore for at least another round. So Ventilation again is the most likely thing to do unless they want to go customs or bathroom tellers.
It would make sense that they go back to Workshop, right? They can switch around the problems that they had.
Well, I mean, they could go say, let's maybe throw some Q mines in or something that we can do to, or set up to be able to C4 that room.
I mean, they dealt with the Monty very effectively.
Yeah.
So I'll give them that.
It might have been the case where the Monty might have even been the one planting to get shut down. He could have been planting with a shield at his back in hoping to be able to absorb any kind of bullets.
Well, the diffuser was dropped right at the end.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is the diffuse didn't get planted, and he was the one who died, so it's possible he was going for, we'll smoke, I'll shield plant, so if they fire in, chances are they'll just hit my shield, but they weren't expecting to fight above. So, yeah, even C4s to an extent. So, I have to imagine that was part of the plan. I don't imagine they would try it again, but we could see them, if they want to be overly aggressive, go for a quick bathroom take, from the teller side. You could go for a very aggressive bathroom push, try and push in. Ignore top-down control. Just do some quick droning during the prep phase to see where the holes are set up above, so you know where you're going to have to contend with if you push in, and assume they're going to have enough people upstairs that you can take the bottom floor. It's just defending the diffuser after that gets a little tricky, but if they have to drop hatches, they have to drop hatches. So, I don't know. Could see something like that, but chances are they probably will not rush it this second time around.
Makes a lot of sense.
They still got it, though. At the end of the day,
it's something
Second
that
Kick gave it to them.
It's something that I love seeing in Latin America is how they utilize the finca for the rushes.
It's definitely the region that plays Finca by far the most.
Yep.
And it has been since release.
Yeah, and they don't really have it down to a science.
No, but I believe we had 2 LMGs, and so it was also going to benefit the other LMG, which was on Capital, right? So
Now, what I really like, though, in contrast to that sort of rush style, is what WOG was doing on NIP and Consulate, which is using the spear and then being that long range, I'm going to use my global ability kind of operator.
using it like it was originally intended mostly. I mean, we rarely see it being used to pick anyone up. It just doesn't seem to be something that happens very often. But it's definitely a case where there's possibilities for it, because you do see downed players occasionally able to crawl away to an extent. It's just rare that you're able to pull that off in time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I guess we're ready to head back into Border. We'll verify our settings before we switch over to that camera. We'll remind you, the scoreline right now is 1-1. Team Liquid having won Armory, Lockers, and Archive, but lost Workshop and Ventilation to the advantage of paiN Gaming, even with a huge advantage, I want to say, wasted there at the end. You should at least try to stick that diffuser and not go for the stat padding. Whatever. I am back.
I'm not sure if you had enough time or not. It's always hard to tell without a number there.
You gotta try.
Yeah, I mean, maybe sometime in the future we could switch that over to a number just for spectating, just so we know.
They tried this in other games, and the problem is it kind of ruins the excitement of the moment.
That's true. The tension, it's true. The unknowing if it's going to work or not. That's a very good point. The Monty not really going to be played this time. Gabrilos is going to switch over to Thermite with the 6th pick, but Lucifer there going to bring out the Mutant instead of the Bandit. I don't know if that's a really dramatic switch, but certainly the amount of pump shotgun kills this season because of the switch. It's like we talk about, we got an SMG-11, so now he's more powerful. It's like, I don't know if it's even the SMG-11. It's just the fact that you now can play a shotgun mute. This has made such a difference.
Yeah, and it honestly just is that. A lot of teams have been letting go of the smoke,
Attackers have located
but
a bomb.
a lot of others just been combining both operators.
Well, especially in a region that will often have a roaming smoke.
Yeah, and it's no surprise that you see the two. Yeah, sure, smoke is a huge asset to your team, but you can still use the mute to an equally important fashion. Before, we used to see at times, I want to say specifically in Consulate, for example, in Garage, where if there's no Mira, we'll see a lot of Echoes bringing their shotgun as well to use, right? No longer the case. You're just going to bring mute all the time, and that's it.
Well, they won't be going to vents after all. They're going to go ahead instead to customs. Defend this a little bit differently. Zig just trying to get this yokai in just the right spot. Unfortunately, the ceiling does have those beams that he's got to worry about in terms of coverage, but he does finally find a spot. Thankfully, though, for FK1, he brought to the IQ, which is going to make this much easier to be able to spot that. Playing a little bit risky with it in terms of sneaking on out the way he is. But obviously, if he just times that right, he doesn't lose it and gets a nice outside peek. It is a good way to do that in the sense that you often don't always have the outside cams you want to, Valkyrie, or they might not be in the right positions, and it's a nice little extra bit of intel. Assuming you don't lose the drone. If you lose the drone doing that, that's a pretty big loss, though.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of players have been running that certain way with the Echo, and mostly to support your roamers, right? It makes a lot of sense. If you're going to play upstairs in office and CCTV, you have a bit more ways to anticipate opponents coming in. As you know, the wide angle of the yokai definitely gives you a lot of information.
Yeah.
And you know, it extends your ability to fight, basically extend your range of gunfights.
I don't know if everyone will agree with me, but I'm definitely glad they gave him a second one, because it makes such a... Oh, we're going to see some more impact tricking. Gotta crouch, guys. Oh, no, it works. He did crouch. All right.
That's how you deal with it.
That's absolutely how you deal with a good demonstration.
Literally saves everything in the game.
Yeah, just ask Europe.
Corey.
Yeah. It's not a stutter on this keyboard.
All right, Gohan still downstairs here in the main lobby with the cardiac sensor, just making sure he can keep a tab on his opponents, and they're gonna say hello, what's up? You see the yokai drone as Zig will set
It's too bad it's not a shock drone.
He's gonna keep checking. It's like, I know where you
The drone wars.
Oh man, that was such a great show. Robot Wars?
Yeah.
Oh man. FK1 will spray right down as, again, Gohan will take a bit of damage, but because of 9mm or the P12, barely does any damage through the floorboard.
Oh, could you imagine if you had a revolver doing that?
Oh man, there you go.
Attackers have
Spray to
located
the
a bomb.
side is, unfortunately, the, I think that's the Echo Zig, actually is playing in the CCTV. No spawn, one yokai drone and the mute hammer. Bam, all done. All in a day's work for the IQ. Bit of damage done from the opposite end is, yeah, I guess we did hear the MP5 being used in the opposite end. Sexy Cake from below as Zick actually puts himself in a pretty darn strong, well, very aggressive position, but we'll see how strong that'll be. Yeah,
What a mistake that was.
unfortunate, but Apollo's going to be able to refrag though. Can he use a hatch to drop down? It's not going to matter. Revolt takes a bit of damage, but takes down Apollo. Gohan still downstairs. Look at the amount of time left, Devin. This is huge. Have to drop from the hatch and move in from the front side as Nest will find one and the two with the hatch shot. Capitos will go down and not much time left. To recover the diffuser defense. Team Liquid will take the site downstairs and, well, this has been the stock here has not really been the most successful site for the defense, but definitely well done.
Yeah, that was definitely at least a worthwhile sacrifice by Zig in the sense that they were able to win off time pretty much because no one was really left. They were trading back and forth, but either way, just the amount of time at the end. What are you going to do? And that's the problem with attacking top down without anyone attacking the bottom floor means you need to take top floor control with a certain amount of time left to actually do something with that. You need to be set up for the plant prior to, you know, at least 30 seconds. Give yourself some time to execute on that. Otherwise, it's just a desperate play, and then defense, more often than not, is going to win that. But either way, that 1 point advantage now to Liquid, and they finally can go back upstairs again. So we'll see if we see a repeat of customs or not. But now, of course, if they win this, they can just go back to vents, so no big deal. Definitely something that might happen. They're going to go to secure, though, the office side by reinforcing the entire wall. And that puts a lot of pressure on the Thermite to get his job done if they want to attack from that side. Is, despite Hibana not being banned in either of the border matches, not really going to get much Hibana. But this is not only a map, but also a region that brings a lot of Thermite, so it's not a huge surprise.
We saw Thermite was up on the board with 69% as the start of play day, so...
It's kind of been that way for this region for quite a while, though. They really are big Thermite fans, especially on this map.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser. Attackers' objective is to locate a
So
bomb
there was a
and
really nice Thermite cosplay in Rio, actually. It was very nice. Took a picture with him and his brother Pulse, the Elite skin as well. Cosplayers put in a lot of work. I can't wait to see what Six Invitational brings when it comes to that, because I already saw there's a Nomad cosplay and a cosplay planned as well. Maybe Maestro. Oh, we'll see. No. Zig here setting up his yokai drone. Again, we've seen the amount of work that the Echo can do, and Gohan, the new member on the squad, has been definitely a huge improvement on it. Adding a lot of firepower, but a bit more reserve, more flexibility on the team compared to what Sexy Cake or Nesk do.
Well, speaking of Gohan, his old buddy Astro.
Oh man, that's not a real thing.
No, of course not. Always fun to see, though.
Gohan and Astro were an excellent duo back in the day. But
Yeah.
I guess things have to change. The more they change, the more they stay the same. And
Except for when Battle Eye gets involved.
Yeah, well, you know what they say. War, it never changes. Unless it does. But FK1 setting up here in the CCTV. We'll have an angle to look through onto the armor, and even the fountain being opened up. As it's left with a soft wall, there is one hallway wall for him to use in CCTV to protect himself from any flanks in the hallway itself. Continue on to drone. We've been seeing a lot of these open walls today on border, though the two here in archives and one in the armory have not been opened up. This still allows Sexy Cake to roam fairly freely in the offices.
Yeah, this is definitely something that could come back to bite them, especially if he goes to drop at just the right time. There he goes, takes out that drone. They also had it look like the yokai in there as well. I feel like Zig's mostly using those not as much for diffuse stopping as just cameras for his team.
And fair enough, that's why you have two of them, right?
Well, it's certainly working out. I mean, he can adjust them as necessary, of course, because they're rarely getting caught and shot down. So he just moves them as needed to support in the round. And well, 53 seconds left, and while the attackers have some control, they're not anywhere near a plant just yet.
Spawns in security room again in CCTV. 45 seconds left on the clock. Paulo from below with a nitro cell in hand can definitely use that. Chuck it up into the ceiling, or else the floor.
Yeah, you can get just a ping from the Echo or a call out.
Yep.
And that's it. Boom, dead.
We'll see how this one goes, though, as Gohan waiting around for his goo mines to recharge. Sexy Cake actually dropping from below.
Ooh, that's 2 nitros down there.
That's
then.
2 nitros. What? Gabrilos just vaults right in with no information on Gohan in the back. The second one will move in, and an instant flush from Gohan to shut down revolts. One more moving in by the Armory balcony. FK1 will find Gohan finally, but oh man, Palu, no, what are you doing? GCR will get one on Palu, but not for long. Nesk will get the cleanup, and Sexy Cake from below will deny spawns with the C4. No time left.
You have run out of time.
As the attacker will have to get off his drone. That was the buck.
Those 2 C4s down there, that was going to be the bigger problem.
I
the
love
Echo drone.
ragdoll physics.
Yeah. Especially with the explosions in this game, or people
Watch
getting
your step.
shot in the face and just go flying. Well, back to vents we go, as we kind of expected that, but much better defense from Liquid that time. But either way, worked out pretty good. Having that many people allowed to hang out downstairs, I mean, really that round was lost by droning. paiN didn't know that everyone was downstairs with C4s. They didn't know that there was someone playing behind half wall. Because of that, they pretty much ran to their death almost every time. I like that at least they tried to avoid the yokai drone by being behind the pillar. That was like the one smart move they made in that. But guess what? There was 2 C4s. So we'll see what they go with for an attack this round. They are going to bring the Thatcher and the Thermite, so they could go for, again, that push I was kind of talking about from the bathroom side over there, where even if they're, actually, I don't know if they're even going to reinforce the wall. Looks like they might be leaving part of it soft there to set up for the rotate. So they may or may not have to Thermite depending on how it gets opened up. They do have a sledge rather than a buck, which is almost odd to see at this point now for Latin America, just because they've so committed to buck now.
Yeah, they changed things around compared to what things were previously. And Supernova, I was just talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, when the mute is not in play, sometimes you'll see the Echo bringing the Supernova, and there you go. That is the case.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Odd, but interesting. No mute at all, just because you want to have those goo mines. Because maybe Team Liquid are expecting a Monty play again.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about before. That is one definite counter you can have to that, is having those goo mines in there. So at least it'll stop a rush part of the plant, but not necessarily stop the plant itself. But you throw a couple in there, good chance they might hit more than one.
All right, Spawns to set up his drone yet again in the same spot, and you see the smoke using the exact same position as before.
So, good droning there coming out for that. Of course, the Claymore to keep this top control as long as possible. But they don't have CCTV control, as you can see from there, and that's going to be a problem for them because already almost a minute burned. So it's going to be on FK1 to potentially help pressure this as quick as possible.
No, wait until the sledge comes in. Don't waste the breaching rounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was preoccupied. I mean, he gets like, what, like 26 hits? So I'm pretty sure that would have been slightly more economical.
I'm no math, you know.
Math magician?
Math magician. Oh, hey, there you go. Sexy Cake pops up at the wrong moment. He gets slapped instantly by FK1. Checking the body. Confirm the kill. And you see the yokai drop there, and Zig will try to run it back away, and they'll lose it in the meantime. Spawns will get around and will destroy the outside window into the armory, and they can use him. Actually, this is a great pinch being set up here by paiN. Grenade will get thrown up and will connect, actually do a bit of damage to Palu, but not enough to shut him down.
Well, they are still a little bit slow on this. I mean, they have the kill onto Sexy Cake, which is important, but they still need to get a bit more control here. They need to get Paula out of here. This is a common spot you'll see Jaeger often hanging out, but he just completely thwarts that.
Only one kill done there, but at least he takes down FK1. Unfortunately, that's the Ash. Not a huge operator for the attacking side to lose. Ooh, nice.
The sledge would have been much better kill, and unfortunately that did not work.
A lot of damage done to Spawns and GCR in the meantime, but Well, those goo mines are going to be very strong now, aren't they?
Very true. Yeah, that is definitely a good chance that one of them does it. But they, the two SAS operators more likely to be on a flank watch or just opening up the floor. So unlikely to be the ones to go for the plant. That's going to be on Gabrielos and possibly Revolt.
I'm not sure if the drone had detected the echo in the back.
Unlikely.
Because, I mean, the angles are different. You don't really have to see the whole player to know that he's in the back. And actually they did. So, shotgun in hand, can't do much against the Supernova.
That's it right there. The diffuser's too far away.
5 seconds left on the clock, and goo mines galore here being set up. They'll do more damage. GCR will find Zig. Nesk on the floor here, dropping like it's hot. And that's the round that Liquid needed. All the advantage was in the way of paiN, and unfortunately, it's Liquid that are bringing the paiN in this round.
So far, the only round they lost is the one that Sexy Cake decided he wanted to go for the kills on. So...
PTSD.
We'll see if that can repeat itself, though. This is going to be the last defensive round for Liquid. So we'll see if they can continue with a 5-round lead, which would be very strong going into the second half. Look at that. All 4 SAS operators brought out at the moment. Definitely going Team Purple, especially with Jackal as well. So assuming no one 6 picks off of that, it should be interesting to see. Though I think we had something somewhat close last round in the sense that we had 3 of the 4, but Mute was not in play. He will be this time instead of the Legion, as you mentioned. Something they wanted to do for that one site, but don't necessarily need to do for the other sites. And they will go back to Customs again as they have won their other 2 bomb sites. Not willing to bring out a bathroom teller, but we have seen that today, so it's been interesting. We saw it twice. We also had seen a Customs before, so Customs today has a 50-50 win rate, as we've seen it, I believe, just... This is the 3rd time, and it was won once, lost once. See where these yokais get set up from Zig. This time is they've definitely been fairly helpful, both in acting as cameras. It's been very good for his restraint. You know, you're not seeing people sending out pings or anything like that. He's just making calls. I almost feel like sometimes the Echo drone's kind of replacing what a Pulse will be doing. It's unfortunate for Nesk. He has taken quite a bit of damage already. Not a great start for him.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was from, actually.
Yeah, it's a good question. It might have been just some shotgun blasts. Yeah, I don't think he would have gotten hit yet from any kind of throw, you know, camera throws or anything like that.
No.
So, unfortunate, and reset, of course, would not do him any good. He'd actually just lose a couple HP in the process.
So definitely not good to do.
Yeah. Well, thankfully that wasn't a far enough drop to do more damage to him. He is setting up for a potential jump out now that he's got the cameras in play. Unfortunately for him, no one there at the moment, and that is going to be detected, so probably not going to go for that a second time.
Yeah. At least he deployed his black eye, so it should give him information on any players that would like to, you know, set up by the, by the ventilation side. Location we used to see a lot more of back in the day, but I guess the rotation from the roof that you were able to do before being not viable anymore. You can't really do that. Pengu used to do that a ton. It just has kind of reduced the viability of the spot because you took like 10 damage, but it allowed you to get to that position with no risk, basically.
Yeah, it was kind of mandatory to use that, but Gohan actually taking a bit of damage as well. Interesting. They're definitely getting softened up here for this attack, but it took them a minute and a half just to get that damage onto Gohan.
And Nesk has an angle here to play in from below and also has a nitro cell in hand, so grenade's gonna get cooked right into him. Will it drop? No. No. Spawn's just gonna continue to drone in and get information. In the meantime, FK1 will take a bit more damage. Zig, wow, even Zig, Nesk, and Gohan all taking a bit of damage early on. GCR will find one. Nesk will refrag, taking GCR out from below.
Well, remember last time when they went on this attack, it took them down to like the last 20 seconds to secure the top floor, and it's looking slowly that direction, especially after that move by Gohan.
Yeah, great play here, and fire thrown in the back, and actually Volt's taking a lot of damage through the wall. Soft wall there, really helping out the defense. Spawns will try to move in. He'll spot the body on the side, but Palu turns around to get 1 and 2 on Revolts. Gabrielos, last man alive here in jail. The smoke will get thrown in his face. Goes in for the quick reload. 4 players in versus the Thermite. And they're just going to try to tease him here as the Jaeger jumps on out and jumps back in. it's definitely not an odd thing to see, at least after, there we go, Apollo will finish things off. Great play by the Mute Apollo in this round.
Yeah, a lot of kills from at least 3.
Some pretty sick shots up in CCTV. And the last one there, pretty predictable. You know where the last player is going to come from. Now, from the first game we've seen today, Devin, it wouldn't be surprising to see the defense putting up a lot of rounds on the board, right?
Certainly possible. It really depends on how they're going to defend it. We've seen just the right amount of restraint on defense seems to be winning the day so far. We saw that in the first matchup. We're just playing slightly aggressive with 1 or 2 players at most, usually the Jaeger, could help to slow them down, and then the rest of the teammates hang back. They take advantage of that extra time. We are going to see a sneaky 6 picked on the Monty, and unfortunately, the one counter that they had to him, outside of, I guess, the C4s, switches off to the dock. Not expecting that, Monty. As side switch around, and Liquid will now be on the attack. See, Sexcake, as you mentioned, a good shield as well. We'll be bringing that, so we'll see how he does on that. But they're definitely going to have to try and anticipate his moves, potentially play from below, so that's going to be, I would imagine, onto Revolts to be able to play effectively from below to try and stop that Monty. But if they take Monty downstairs first and push him, it's going to be very difficult for them to do anything about it later in the round. Now, of course, starting on lockers, no surprise there. And we'll see where things go from here. I am curious, though, if they do manage to come back, what their third bomb site will be. Will it be Bathroom Pillage?
Get out of the way!
You tell.
Alright. GCR saw where he set up the loop of camera. It's kind of there to just negate the fact that, hey, there's no Maestro available, right?
Yeah.
Just so you can see through that long hallway with a ton of information. The Ash, though, in play for Team Liquid, can definitely use that to your advantage. And again, the Monty, Paul has been running the Twitch here. So Team Liquid are definitely looking to close the game out ASAP. They have frag power, but they also have more technical and oppressive pushing ability. The combination of the FAMAS and the Monty in the back.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they use that Monty. It's going to be the real big question. Like I said, are they going to use it for roam clear first, or are they just going to save him to push site? It seems like it is pretty effective for pushing for roam clear, but you do have to be very aware of holes in the ceiling that can be used to shoot you in the back, really, more than anything else, because the top of the head's a little more protected once they modified his shield to kind of cover a bit more of the head. Looks like Paula, though, going to get an idea what's going on CCTV before they push it, but this is where we could see the Monty push to start with. So they're going to play that aggressive.
Nope. Is that what is that? Screen sight on a... Okay. So Zig will find the first kill, take down the Jaeger early on. It's a good start for Team Liquid as Paulo still gaining information and relaying it back to Doc. Is tased, and he's going to get shot from below, just being harassed endlessly by the Twitch. There you go.
I was going to say it's a little bit of waste in the sense that he can just heal himself up, but it's the harassment factor, really.
They keep him in check, and Spawns in the meantime was not really able to do much. Fire down onto Zig, and I'm not sure actually if Zig took that damage before, but still. Just a bit of damage done to Liquid, not the end of the world. Revolts will take a bit more, actually quite a bit more. By the armored lockers, he'll have to fall back, and you know what? He's going to find himself right in front of Monty in just a second here as Palu will run in his drone.
They need to reset that Monty. A smoke can easily kill him.
Actually, yeah, Sexy Cake took a lot of damage. I'm not sure that just happened right then and there. I think it was a C4 that was thrown into him. Still, there's still a bit of time to do that, but the smoke is going to be very deadly if Sexy Cake wishes to move up, but go on in a perfect position. The armory window, get one kill. Spawns alive here, but no C4, and Gabrilos in the back, and he'll get pushed up by... No, that's the wrong one! Grenade shoved in, but Paulo will find the kill, and a diffuser has been planted. Gabrilos up against the nigh impossible task will get shot down on Paulo to take him out. Team Liquid, efficient and effective gameplay, 1 round away from a total victory.
That match point there almost could have led up to a 7-0 if Sexy Cake had been able to either defuse or...
I'm not sure if he had the exact time. Okay, I'll bring it back. I'll have to excuse myself. Well, not excuse myself, but I have to correct myself in front of everyone. You
need to be lashed.
Well, that's for another time. But in that situation, I'm not completely sure if he had time or not, but I don't see what's wrong with at least trying. You had the advantage. It just needed a second and a half, Just use it to, don't give up. Don't give up.
Well, there you go. Don't give up your dreams, Sexy Cake.
Sexy Cake on the Monty, Gohan on the Blackbeard. Actually, Gohan used to play a ton of Blackbeard at the time. Astro's, actually, we talked about Astro, but like Astro as well on Blackbeard and Ash. Oh boy.
I didn't really see the point of picking that cap can to 6th pick off. First off, they're not going to believe it.
No, I don't think.
And so, like, oh, it was like, oh, we want to try and trick them to not pick Monty. It's like, well, they're not going to believe you're actually going to stick on that. I mean, it's possible if you really want to get all crazy mind games there, but it's unlikely.
Yeah, we still are seeing that softball being set up as well in the archives to look into the office. But what's odd here as well is that there's still that reinforcement on the right-hand side instead of the left-hand side. Well, in this case, your left-hand side instead of the right-hand side. It does allow you to have more angles to challenge your opponents, but unfortunately for paiN, that's not really working, and it's not really an option that you can really have when you're on map and match point. Right?
Yeah, they don't really have many options on map and match point, but especially a team that aren't doing super great in the standings so far. Definitely a tough spot to be in, but this is Liquid after all. Just a tough match all around. But I got to imagine you would like to have more than at least 1 point out of, or 1 round out of this.
And well, if anything, Team Liquid are looking to put those 3 points on the board and put themselves on top here in the Latin American Pro League at the end of Playday number 5, and at least deny yet another time.
We'll see if Monty can efficiently take this room again. The last time was when they harassed the Doc. This time it's the Legion playing in there. See if they can stop him. Looks like the Jaeger as well. So they've got 2 people to find here.
That's going to come in, and not sure what kind of utility was set up in there.
Imagine barbed wire, but it also would have taken out a goo mine if there was that.
There we go.
Yeah.
Just couldn't see it from the side. It was a bit forward, and makes a lot of sense. When it's more forward, you can kind of trap your opponents a bit.
Ooh, FK1 already pretty low in health, too.
Yeah, Gohan is going to try to finish him off here as he's not spotted the rifle, but just yet, or the barrel there.
Oops. That's not going to help.
Nope, but still, the Monty up front will definitely be a good spearhead. At least a very blunt spearhead, literally. Ness will come in and put himself in the break room to have a tiny angle to use his advantage, but that's all he needs. He can take control of the hallway fairly efficiently. He's got a reinforced wall as well to be very careful behind. He'll win the gunfight and the duel against Gabrielos. Not against GCR, however. The Monty's still in front.
Well, the important thing is the smoke's down, and that was going to be the biggest rival to Monty.
Yeah, the nuclear deterrent, basically. It's still the goo mines of Legion in play, so Sexy Cake has to be very careful to not take much damage before he pushes him, and that's what they wanted. Now FK1 has been taken down. Sexy Cake takes a lot of damage, but it's more than enough to take down GCR. Revolts and Spawns, last 2 alive with Nitro Cell each, and even a Shutterbug. 1 camera left in the back pocket of our dear Ms. Valkyrie.
Throw it for the 5 damage.
Yeah, that's what you always say. Revolt's going to continue to ping his opponents on his camera, but so far, can't really find it. Yeah, you're going to run soft walls and force your opponents through. Sure, that's not a problem. There's the Monty, but remember, the Montagne does not block the C4 explosive radius for people behind him, only for himself. And the C4 from behind should have been enough to finish off Sexy Cake, but no, it does not connect. And all he wants to do really here is just to stand right in front of the right in front of the Pulse. He gets shot from the back. Okay, it's 1 kill though from Palu. Spawns will find 1, but not for long. Palu will find the last 2 on the Twitch. We'll end it all right then and there. Round number 8 will go the way of Team Liquid, and that's 7-1. It's definitely overwhelming victory.
Yeah. Very well played, especially by Impala. He had a very good series of rounds. And the Monty just doing its job. Sexy Cake, while he didn't live entirely the entire time, he helped take CCTV twice with that, very effectively. And then, of course, was able to help with the plant attempts as well. Not a ton of kills just because there wasn't a ton of rounds.
And he only died 3 times, so there you go. Sexy Cake with a 2 to 3 on the board. Just Team Liquid in general.
Yeah.
Not really dying too many times. But there you go. I believe Sexy Cake, the only 2 kills he got.
No, because he got the 2 kills that round, as well as at least the Legion right there. That's true. So you got to keep that in mind. There you go.
And still 3 or 4 deaths. Anyways, it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
They won. 7-1. That's pretty overwhelming.
That's usually pretty good.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm pretty bad at math. Actually, I'm not, but still. that's it for game number 3 of the evening. We'll remind you, Immortals tied 6-6 to INTZ. We had yet another tie alongside my dear co-casters with NIP tying versus Red Devils. 7-1 victory for Team Liquid, which, you know what, leaves us with one more game. And yes, I have recovered my dear and wonderful book.
That's amazing.
My book of secrets. We'll see which sort of, how do you say, spell we will cast at the end of this one. Still have one more to go. FaZe Clan face off against Black Dragons. Will be a tie. Will FaZe win? Will it be Black Dragons? Who knows? You probably have to stick around. We'll see you in just a few minutes.